Hello. This is Brian with ZimCo Survival, and I am back again. This particular time, I'm going to be doing a review on the Light My Fire 2.0 Army Edition rod. Now, they have the original, which came with a very different striker than this. So let me go ahead and let you guys know it does not come with this paracord. I put this in because the one that they sent with it was too short for me to use properly. And so I just took that off and put this piece of paracord on. I have played with this quite a bit, and let me just explain. I guess first we'll go ahead and get into the stats of it. The overall length of this is about just short, 2.75 inches or so of the actual rod here. It has a nice thumb hole right there, and it also has one on the rod or on the striker, so you get a nice good grip with these. I don't feel like it's going to slip out of my hand or anything like that. The handles here are made out of a molded plastic, so you know it's plastic, nothing more you can say about that. It's not any kind of special material or anything. These are hard rods. These are not soft. These are very, very hard. They produce sparks, but they don't produce any kind of glob of anything. It's a spark. So I took this out and I decided to do quite a bit of testing with it before I did this review. I have found that it will get all man-made tinders started. So cotton balls, a tinder quick, anything like that. It does have some problems when it comes to natural tinders though. I found that some tinders were fairly hard to get started with this, like any kind of dry grass, pretty hard. I was successful with birch, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that during this review. It may take a little while, so I'm warning you, because this is a hard rod. It may take a little while to get that birch to start, but I'm going to go ahead, and you guys have seen it. One last thing that I wanted to note is it has a whistle in the striker. Don't use it. It's terrible. I hate it. In all honesty, they should just take out the whistle because it really doesn't do anything. I have not been able to blow this whistle once and make noise. And I've tried it in all different ways, and I cannot make this thing work. As for the striker portion here, it has a decent piece here to do your striking with. I have found if I'm using it like this, which is the way you're supposed to use it, I have not been able to get a consistent spark off of it. It doesn't seem to want to give me a consistent spark. So I found doing this method is the best, in my opinion. Let me show you. I can get a spark basically every single time I do that, and I don't need to use much pressure. So when I'm striking this rod, I'm going to be doing this motion, just so you guys know. So why don't we go ahead and get to the stump, and I will go ahead and show you guys how well this thing works with a cotton ball, as well as how well it works on birch. So be right back. Hello, welcome back to the stump. So right here, the first one I'm going to use is just a regular petroleum cotton ball, nothing fancy, just something I made myself. All we're going to do is go ahead and open it up a little bit. There we go. And like I said, I'm going to be striking this way instead of this way because it just seems to work better for me. Going to plant the rod directly on top of the cotton ball, give it a couple of good strikes, and there we are. Pretty easy to light a petroleum cotton ball with just about anything. So we're going to go ahead and test some birch bark and see how well that works, because birch is pretty much everywhere, so most of the time you'll be able to find some. So let me go ahead and get rid of this cotton ball. Ah! There we are. And here we have our birch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to process this up a little bit so that it will take a spark more easily. And we'll go ahead and give this a try. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to plant it on here first. And I'm going to take let's see if it will work this way. There we are. As you can see, it took a little bit, but eventually I was able to get it started. And the reason for that is this is such a hard rod that it doesn't produce globs of sparks at all. It just sparks. So it takes a little while for this rod to actually get a fire going with natural tinders. And this is a perfect example of what I was talking about. Birch bark is a fantastic tinder, and it still took me a fairly decent amount of time to get it started. Pretty much anything that's worse than birch bark is practically unlightable. So let's go ahead back to the chair, and I will go ahead and talk with you guys a little bit, and we'll finish up this review. And welcome back. My overall opinions on this is that it's a great rod. It's a fantastic rod, very easy to strike. You know, it kind of produces sparks with very little pressure. The only problem is it doesn't produce globs of metal. So it is very, very, very hard to get anything started that isn't really good tinder. So for example, something like a cattail head, anything that's really nice and fluffy that can catch that little spark, that's going to do alright with this. But as you saw with the birch bark, it did take quite a bit of time to get that started compared to what it should have taken. But still, I think this is a great rod. I think now this one is a 12,000 strike version. They have the Scout, which is the same length, it's just a little bit thinner, which is 3,000 strikes. So in my opinion, spend the extra couple of bucks and buy the 12,000 strike version. You know, and in my opinion, you're more than getting your money's worth for the 12,000. My overall review of this rod has to be a 9 out of 10. The only reason that I say 9 and not a 10 is because I wish it had some longer lasting sparks. I wish they had mixed a little bit more magnesium into this so that those sparks would live just a bit longer. But it still works, as you guys saw. It may not be the fastest rod to get a fire started with, but for its size, its weight, and the fact that it comes with a pretty good striker, I wouldn't hesitate to buy this again. I recommend that you guys buy one. If you are looking to buy a rod like this, just go ahead and buy one. It's well worth the money. But that's basically it. As always, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye bye.